In this video tutorial, you can learn how to create vertical cross-sections. First, activate a new drawing file number 1020 in the building structure. Then go to Create Section command. Settings for creating the clipping path are displayed in the palette. First step is to choose input type, Basic or Advanced. For now, leave the Basic option. Second step is to select the type of cross-section by clicking on red plane on the cube element and choose either vertical or horizontal section. Leave the vertical section option. Third step refers to clipping path, section identifier. Allplan will suggest the name, or you can input any name you want here. For the height of clipping path, either choose the height from elements or input the custom top and bottom level values. Turn the height from elements option on. Turn on the active place clipping line option so that the clipping line is shown in all the viewports. In representation settings, you can choose style of clipping path and clipping line, and direction symbol settings. Close the settings and select the first point of clipping path in plan view. Then select the next point. Press the Escape key when you are done with entering points for clipping path. Then define the depth and viewing direction with the mouse and confirm it with left mouse click. Now you carry the generated cross-section on the mouse and you need to adjust the properties in palette before placing it. Note that all the settings can be changed afterwards. First, you can set the filter settings. With this drawing filter and layer filter, you can turn on or off individual drawing files and layers to be or not to be visible in this section. Leave the option to update automatically on. This way, the section will remain associative with the model, so any change in the model is automatically updated in the cross-section. If you turn off this option, the section stops being associative, but you can turn the option back on later and update the cross-section with all the changes that happen in between. Here you have options for resizing view in X and Y direction. Next are settings for representation. Entry point for preview. You can click on any corner or middle edge point to define the insertion point for the view. Reference scale for calculation. Formats. If you click on Set, here you can define important settings for edges and finish elements. In the Edges tab, on top you can see the preview that changes depending on which settings below are set. You can activate the option to eliminate adjacent edges of different element types which have the same material defined. Leave active option Display between different surface elements edges for architectural components. This option creates edges between the elements of different materials. Last option is the representation of round object in the cross sections. Important note: here you can activate if you want to see the visible and hidden edges in the section and set their representation. If you turn off the visible and hidden edges, only elements that intersect with the clipping line are shown in the cross section. If you turn on the visible edges, you can also see all the elements that are placed in the depth of the cross section. If you turn on the hidden edges, you can see all the elements that are hidden in the depth of the cross-section. For example, another wall that is behind another wall. In the Clipping Lines tab, you can define the way the boundary line looks or show section edges with the thick lines. Here you can also show hidden and intersected edges. Section Surface Elements. Activate this option if you want the elements to have hatches, patterns, or fills in the cross-section. These element properties are defined in the different architectural elements. We have already covered this in previous video tutorials. Here you can also specify how the 3D object and hidden surfaces will be displayed in the cross-section. 3D objects are different than architectural elements and don't have these options defined in their properties, so we have more options here to display those kind of objects. In the Finish Elements tab, you can define how your room elements will be displayed in the cross-section. You can also check the FAQ video for more info about this topic. Here you have the options for representation, so you can activate Show Ceiling Surfaces, Show Floor Surfaces, or to show vertical surfaces. Leave options show each layer, so every layer of the room finishes should be shown separately with its own representation defined in the room settings. You can activate the Apply Surface Elements to finishing surfaces so that each layer of the room finishes is displayed with its own hatchings, patterns, or fills defined in the room settings. Below are the format properties for setting the layer for these elements. Close the format settings. Lastly, you have the settings for labels, position of label, text parameters, will scale be included in the label, etc. Leave the Show Clipping Path as active. Turn off the surface elements for now, as they are more useful in the creation of views. Now place the vertical cross section somewhere in the plane view. Press the Escape key 2 times to exit the command. Thank you for your time and see you in the next video tutorial.